Welcome, YouTubers, to episode number 1 of Cooking with Italos. This is Christine Marzano, and we are going to be making tonight stuffed meatballs with spaghetti, or spaghetti with meatballs. So, a classic Italian dish. I think you guys are going to enjoy this because we do the meatballs a little bit different here. So, we're going to start off, just first off, let me tell you what we're working with here, okay? We have a ratio of 50-50, so we're going to go with some really nice fresh ground beef and some fresh ground pork. You can see this is really fresh. That is the key to good meatballs, or at least one of the keys to good meatballs, starting out with fresh ingredients. Always, always, always fresh ingredients. Can't stress it enough, right, Christine?
That's correct.
Okay, so we've got our meat ready here, and we've got a couple of eggs. We're going to show you how we use that. We've got some fresh ground sea salt. We have some Italian breadcrumbs, and we're going to grind some pepper fresh. And as always, Italo's Gourmet pasta sauce.
The best.
That is the key ingredient. And more importantly than all of this, leading up, is vino. Salud.
Salud.
I have a feeling we're going to be kind of toasty by the time
yes,
we get
I'm quite sure. But that makes
we're going to be lit, but it's going to be good food.
We get more creative as it goes on.
Absolutely. The ingredients start flying. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to start prepping. We got to prep some garlic. We got to prep some onions. We got to prep some parsley. So we're going to get that done, and we'll be right back. All right, so what we're doing here is just a little bit of prep work before we get into the whole cooking thing. And a little trick on onions: if you want to dice onions, cut the onion in half and then put some slices about 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch across, and then you can just cut down the onion like this, and it's kind of pre-diced. Then all you have to do is come across with the knife, chop it up a little bit more so you get a little bit more fine cut to it, and that's it.
Now
onions.
Is this a sweet onion that we're using?
This is a regular yellow onion. We don't want to use a red Spanish onion because they got a little bit too much of a bite to them. White onions are fine, and yellow onions are fine, whatever you prefer. They're both kind of mild. You don't normally want, for this, at least for the meatballs, you don't normally want like a Vidalian onion. You don't want a sweet onion. So just a regular yellow onion does the trick. Yeah, this is really nice parsley. It's fresh. Picked it out of the garden myself. I got it at a really nice grocery store. But this is it's not regular parsley. It's Italian parsley. And there's a huge difference, as you just mentioned, how good it smells. Regular parsley's got no smell to it. Barely any flavor. It's kind of like water with a little chlorophyll. Not chloroform, chlorophyll. But this Italian parsley, you always, if you're making an Italian dish, cook with Italian parsley. And make sure it's fresh. Don't get any wilted stuff. So we're just going to chop this up, and we're going to do some prep before we get into the whole process of making the balls. Okay. That's it.
Oh, by the way, we're making stuffed meatballs, right?
We are. We're making a classic Italian dish. About as classic as it gets. Spaghetti and meatballs. Only thing is, we're going to give the meatballs a little twist. They're going to be mozzarella stuffed meatballs. And I'm going to show people how to do meatballs the right way. Or at least that's what I'm going to say, the right way. I'll show you the right ingredients to use to get a really, really, really good meatball.
And I can say I helped.
All right, so we've done our prep, and we've got some fresh chopped onions here, fresh garlic, we've got some Italian breadcrumbs, fresh pecorino romano. This cheese is awesome. We've got a couple, what do we got back there? Oh, that's the Italian parsley.
Yes.
We've got fresh Italian parsley that we just chopped, and we have, okay, it takes 2 eggs to make this, and there's a story behind these eggs. These eggs are from little chickens across the street, and when I say free range, I mean, like literally, I'm surprised that they don't get run over because they. Why did the chicken cross the street?
road, right.
To get to Rob and Christine's house.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Yeah, thanks, Jeannie, across the street. And we've got some sea salt and some black pepper. And what we're going to do now is we're going to show you guys how to make stuffed meatballs. Like I said, starting with half of the, we got 1 pound of chopped meat, and we've got 1 pound of fresh chopped pork. So we're going to take this, which looks so pretty right here, and we're going to put this in the bowl. Just like this, and don't worry, washed our hands, very important, always wash your hands when you're cooking constantly. Okay, you can get that out of there for me. I'm just going to rinse my hands off here real quick. And this is going to be the messy part. First we're going to put in our 2 eggs. So we got a total of 2 pounds of meat here, pork and chopped meat. I'm going to put 1 egg here. I'm going to throw those right in there if that's okay with you, Christine. And then the other egg.
Wait.
Just like that.
Way to go.
Oh, we're going to...
Cheers. Way to go.
I'm not sure how this is going to be after we're done with all this wine. Okay, so we're going to put our onions in here. I kind of do this... You know, we've got about 6 ounces of onions here. Okay, we're gonna put a little bit in, and then we're gonna revisit that and make sure that we're not going overboard on the onions. Fresh garlic, we're gonna put in about a tablespoon of fresh garlic. And if you'll hand me the parsley, Christine. We've got about 1/2 cup of fresh Italian parsley here.
The cheese?
And yes, and some Pecorino Romano cheese. We're going to put about 1/4 cup of Pecorino Romano cheese in here. If you hand me the breadcrumbs. Again, this is about 1/2 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs. And then we're going to put in 2 pinches of fresh ground sea salt. And if you'll hand me that pepper grinder. Thank you. Watch this. We just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You're good.
9, 10. Look at that. Okay.
You're good, Wade.
That deserves a
That deserves a cheers.
It really
It does.
Yeah, it absolutely does. This is a really good wine, by the way. Jets Uncorked. Delicious.
It is from the New York Jets, my favorite team.
Yeah. They have their own wine now. Wow, what people won't market. But it is a good wine, actually. All right, so this is, once we have all the ingredients in the bowl here, we're going to mix everything together. This is the fun part, nice and mushy. You can wear a glove if you want. In the commercial kitchen, of course, we wear gloves. Nobody touches anything without gloves. In a home kitchen, we got to transfer the energy and the love. You know.
Yeah, and but we do wash our hands, of course.
Yeah, constantly. Very important. Okay, so we're getting this nice and mixed. Remember, you got to mix this really good because you have 2 different types of meat here. You've got pork, you got fresh ground pork, and then you've got the fresh ground beef. So we want to make sure that we mix that real good.
Now, Wade, you might want to tell them why you're adding the pork.
Well, okay. Pork is a little bit leaner than the ground beef, but it does have a distinct flavor. So the combination of the beef and the pork adds a little bit of a different flavor profile to the meatballs. Some people do beef, some people do all pork. I like to mix it, and people seem to really like it. So for me, I just think the flavor profile is better. The real trick is going to come up in a few minutes, which I'll show you. You've probably watched other cooking shows where when people make their meatballs, they either bake them in the oven, okay, or they fry them in a pan with a little bit of oil. The problem with that is that it never seems to cook uniform, okay, and also they flatten out on the bottom.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
right.
So you get these really weird shaped meatballs, and everybody says, oh, but they're homemade, so that's why, that's okay. It's really not. It's ugly. It looks better on the plate when they are nice and uniform. So what I do is I deep fry my meatballs. What that does is they stay round. It gives you a really good, crispy outer part of the meatball, okay? And then when you put them in the sauce and let them simmer for a while, absolutely amazing. And the taste is different. You know, it just, we used to serve them on Italo's Gourmet food truck back in the day before we were commercially manufacturing pasta sauce and other Italian specialties. So we would just sold out immediately. I mean, it was just they would line up for them, and within an hour we were sold out. So I'm pretty sure people like the meatballs.
Well, they smell. I mean, this smells
and
delicious.
it's not. We're not even really to the point where we're cooking it yet.
Right.
So you can see now the texture here, okay, is nice. It still looks like ground meat. It doesn't look like, you know, artificial with a lot of fillers, okay. So I think we're good on the initial amount of seasoning that we put in here. Okay, so everything looks real good to me. Now we're going to take a little break here, and we're going to start to form these. So we're going to get ready to prep the meatballs, and we'll show you how to do that in just a couple of minutes.
Awesome.
Italo and Christine back here from Italo's Gourmet Foods. Look at those meatballs. Absolutely fantastic. We're getting ready to put them in the Italo's Gourmet pasta sauce. And just a quick recap, we've got 1 pound of fresh ground beef, 1 pound of fresh ground pork. We've got parsley in here. We've got fresh onions, fresh parsley, fresh garlic, 2 eggs.
Yep, freshly shaved cheese.
Free-range eggs
Free-range
from across the
eggs
street.
from
The chickens came
Yep.
across the street, delivered the eggs personally, right?
Yes.
They delivered the eggs personally to us, and we really appreciate that.
Yes,
That's
we
very
do.
nice of them. And tomorrow we'll have breakfast, compliments of the free-range chickens across the street. So, and we're not in New York City. We're in New York, but we're not in New York City. And what we're going to do now is we're going to start deep frying the meatballs. I promised you that we would show you a trick here, and I think you guys are going to love this. One of these little scoops works wonders, so we're going to put a meatball in here, and we're going to put that right in this hot oil. We've already got this oil set to 350 degrees, and we're just going to start dropping these meatballs in here. We'll do about 6 of them at a time. And you can see this is just like deep frying anything else, deep frying French fries or whatever. And it doesn't take very long. You guys are going to see these things come out gorgeous. Look at this. Okay.
It's perfect.
Yeah, the idea here is to keep them nice and round. We don't want to overcook them, but we want a nice.
So guys, right now we're cooking those in the oil.
This is, like I said, this is 350 degrees. The idea here is we want a nice crispy outside to the meatballs. They're going to cook the rest of the way. Don't worry about it, because they're going to cook the rest of the way in the sauce. So we don't want to overcook them. We just want to get them nice and brown. Just like this. Okay. Look at that. Look at how these things look.
They're
shot of that?
beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to put the rest of them in.
This is definitely my new way to make these.
It really does come out fantastic. These things, and it's amazing flavor. I mean, the way it cooks the outside of the meatballs and keeps all of those juices.
And hun, do you want to tell them what kind of oil you're using?
Yeah, this is just a canola blend that is normally used in a deep fryer. It's not, definitely don't want to use olive oil. Different flash points on different oils, and there's a reason why they use a canola blend typically in a deep fryer. So we're just following the standard protocol for a deep fryer, which is a canola blend. It works out really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was surprised to see that, because normally you would think you'd use olive oil, but
yeah,
that explains it.
Olive oil's not real good for deep frying. So we're going to take the rest of these out of here, just like this. And you see these things come out gorgeous.
They do. That's
they hold
amazing.
Their shape. Yeah, they hold their shape. They get nice and brown and a little bit crispy on the outside, which makes it really nice when we put these in the sauce and let them cook the rest of the way in the sauce. And you also see that, you know, a lot of people, they bake the meatballs in the oven. It takes a long time to bake the meatballs in the oven. Okay, so this is a nice, quick way of doing this. See how fast it cooks?
And I've tried everything. Honestly, I've tried baking them in the oven. I've tried frying them on top of the stove. I've never seen anything
there you
like
go.
this.
Look at that.
It's beautiful. Absolutely.
Look at that plate of meatballs. What did that take? 3 minutes? It's about 3 minutes. Absolutely fantastic.
It's gorgeous.
So we're going to go on to the next step and we'll show you that in just a minute. Look at those
these.
meatballs. Absolutely amazing. I know, right? It's exciting.
Look at their
Look
awesome.
at this, YouTubers. These are the most amazing stuffed meatballs. If you could try these, if only you could try them. You can try them if you follow the recipe and watch our video. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take the meatballs and we're going to cook them in the Italo's Gourmet pasta sauce. We've got 2 different flavors here. We're mixing it up tonight, right? And just so everybody sees, these are coming directly out of the jar, which you can purchase at, well, you can purchase them on Amazon.com. You can purchase them, if you want a really good deal, purchase them on Walmart.com. I think $35 order, they deliver them free to your house, and I think they're like probably half price of what they are on Amazon. So you might want to check out Walmart.com. They're in some Walmart stores. I don't know if they're in your area or not, but for sure you can get them delivered to your house from Walmart.com.
And Amazon.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I made my own sauce for years, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I thank you.
It's phenomenal.
It's coming from an Italian lady that makes her own pasta sauce. She loves this pasta sauce, so you guys check it out, okay? And don't forget to go to our to subscribe, like, and share. And what we're going to do right now is we are going to go ahead and pop these open so you can see this is actually Italo's Gourmet sauce going right in the pot here. All right, and I'm going to give this to you, Christine, so you can get rid of that. And we're going to open another one. We're going to put that in there. There you go. Absolutely. And the sauce smells amazing right out of the bottle. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these meatballs, slide this over here like this, and we're going to put these right in the sauce. Now, these meatballs, as you saw earlier, are deep fried. Okay, a little bit different than what you're used to. But
they're perfect.
Yeah, they stay nice and round, and they get a nice brown texture on the outside. I'm a little bit crunchy. Absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
So we're going to put these in the sauce, and these are going to cook the rest of the way in the sauce. So we don't deep fry them for a long time because we certainly don't want to burn the outside of the meatballs. So these are going to simmer in the sauce for about a half an hour. Okay, and that's going to cook these the rest of the way through. It's also going to impart that amazing flavor into the sauce. Okay, and these are mozzarella stuffed meatballs. They're amazing. Can you get a shot of that? Look at that. Absolutely delicious. So we're going to go ahead and put these on the stove. We're going to let this simmer for about a half an hour, right? And then we're going to be back and we're going to show you guys the rest of the whole meal together on a plate, ready to go. And you guys are going to be jealous because we're all going to sit down and eat it, and you're not. So that's it for now. We're going to... Oh, yeah, we have to cheers. We didn't
cheers. We have not cheersed in a while.
Yeah, we're slipping. It's good wine, right?
It is good wine.
Okay, so remember the pasta sauce, Italo's Gourmet, available on Walmart.com, Amazon.com. And if you go to our website, italosgourmet.com, there's a store locator button. You can click on that and you can find all the stores that are carrying the products in your local area. It's in all the Lucky supermarkets. It's in West Side Market, Brooklyn Fair, Zaytuna's. It's Wine Library. Yeah, and it's in a lot of stores, so the chances are pretty good that there's one near you. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get everything prepped. We've got spaghetti going into the boiling water over here, and we'll be ready to show you guys a finished product in just a few minutes. Okay, here comes the fun part. You ready?
I'm ready.
We're going to plate this up, and we're going to eat. So, we're going to eat. YouTube's not going to eat, but they can if they follow the recipe, and if they like and share and subscribe. Sorry, I've got my back to the camera. But if they like, subscribe, and share, they'll be able to duplicate this.
Yeah,
That's the whole
guys,
idea behind
it's
this.
really, I mean, he step by step. It should be so easy.
That's right. So we're gonna ladle a sauce right over the pasta here. This smells so good. If you guys can smell this, you have no
Again, we
idea.
need smell-o-vision.
Yeah, we really do need smell-o-vision. And these meatballs, oh my God. These meatballs are absolutely amazing. Grab some cheese. We're gonna put some fresh Pecorino Romano cheese on this. We're gonna dress this plate up a little bit because anybody that knows me knows that I like to dress the plate up a little bit with some parsley or basil, however you want to do it. Okay, we just want to make this plate look good because presentation is everything, and we got a little bit of cheese on there. And if you can get a good shot of that, this is absolutely
phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Phenomenal.
It's spaghetti and meatballs, but let me tell you something. This is spaghetti and meatballs like you've never tasted before. So, on that happy note, cheers, Christine.
Cheers, Italo.
We are going to go and we're going to eat. I know you're all jealous. And thank you for watching. Please don't forget to share, comment, like, subscribe, and happy Sunday, everybody.